Hello everyone! So today I thought I'd sit down with you guys and chat through a few more details about my new job, which I'm starting in 2 weeks' time now. I don't think I've actually shared many details with you yet, other than the fact that it's in insurance consulting. I'll be taking exams and studying to become a qualified actuary. It's at a really large company. Have I told you anything else? It's an office job. If you have no clue what an actuary is, don't worry, I shall be explaining it in this video. Obviously, I haven't started the job yet. I start in 2 weeks' time, so bear that in mind when I'm answering these questions, that I don't know everything, I don't have all the facts. I'm talking as someone who has researched the job extensively, looked into the professional law, did an 8-week internship last year. I like to think I have some idea of what I'm letting myself in for, but you know, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, I will be much more of an expert in all of this. I thought I would structure this video as a Q&A, so I answer all the questions that you guys want the answers to, and I asked for questions over on my Instagram earlier this week, and I've got them on my laptop here, so I'm going to be going through as many as I possibly can in this video. Thank you to everyone who sent them in, and let's get going. Also, like and subscribe. I always forget to say that at the start of the video, but I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. We're going to start with the obvious question, which is, what is an actuary? An actuary is a business professional who is an expert in risk management. Actuaries calculate risk using statistics and then communicate their findings to other people in simple terms who don't necessarily have that expertise in risk. Basically, it's all about studying historical data and then using all this information to create statistical models, using the models to assess the extent of a risk, and then communicating all this to other people working in different business areas. Okay, the next question is, what is insurance consulting? Insurance consulting is just one area in which actuaries can work. Actuaries can literally work in any business area that has risk involved, but insurance consulting is a business area that a lot of actuaries work in, as you might imagine, because insurance is literally putting financial safeguards in place to protect yourself from risk. You buy insurance from insurance companies. There's lots of different types of insurance: life insurance, home insurance, pet insurance, car insurance, and some are compulsory, some are optional. It all depends what's important to you and what circumstances you want to protect yourself from as to what insurance products you purchase. For example, car insurance. You pay a small amount of money, a premium every year as car insurance. And then if you do get into a crash, into a scrape with your car and you need your car repaired and it's a large sum of money needed for that repair, the insurance company will cover it because you've been paying them this premium every year. The idea is that a lot of people will get car insurance and pay the premiums in each year, but only a small amount of people will claim on the insurance. So the insurance company will make a profit by having more money coming in from people paying premiums than they have to pay out for claims when people need their cars repaired. So that's how insurance and insurance companies work. Now we come to insurance consulting. Insurance companies essentially need to protect themselves from risk. They don't want a situation where they have to pay out more in claims than the money they're getting in from premiums. And so this is where the actuaries come in. The actuaries try to predict the future. They predict how many claims are going to be made each year. There's kind of two sides to insurance consulting. Actuaries who work in pricing will, believe it or not, advise on the pricing of insurance products. How much should the premiums be? Whereas actuaries who work in reserving will figure out how much money should be set aside so that the insurance company has enough money to pay out for the claims when they're made. Also, the other thing that actuaries do in insurance consulting is capital modelling. This is all about analysing all the financial risks an insurance company might face. Obviously, they have the financial risk of having to pay out more claims than anticipated. But there are also other financial risks associated with running a company. They may have lawsuits filed against them. Their offices could burn down. Their expensive IT equipment or software could be stolen. These are just examples of risks that they face, and that is all taken into account in capital modelling. And there is government legislation as to how much capital an insurance company has to have at any one time, and actuaries will be making sure that insurance companies are all in line with government legislation and advising them on that. I think that was just a very roundabout way of saying that in insurance consulting, actuaries use very sophisticated modelling software in order to analyse the risk to insurance companies when they do their business. And of course, within insurance consulting, there's two kind of sides to it. There's life insurance and property and casualty insurance, which is also known as general insurance, and that's their side I'm going into. My job is in P&C, property and casualty insurance. Okay, next question is, what is your official title? So my job title is risk analyst. Next question is, what will you do in the job? It's probably going to be a lot of spreadsheets to start off with. I'll be working in small teams, but obviously placed on the bottom rung of the team to start off with. So doing all the data processing and all the long, more tedious work. But that's how everyone starts, and I've got lots to learn. I don't know whether I'm going to be doing more work on the pricing side or the reserving side yet. I haven't been told. When I was on my internship last year, I sat in the reserving side of the office, but they might switch me when I join as a graduate. I have no clue. I'll find out on my first day. Also, from what I saw on the internship, on the reserving side, it's definitely a lot more about applying logic and analysing the bigger picture rather than number crunching. Obviously, as an actuary, you have to be good at maths, but you don't sit there just doing maths all day. And I guess in the job, I'll be getting the opportunity to use the company's modelling software. I don't know how fast they're gonna push me into it, but it will be good. Next question is, which city/area will you be working in? I'm going to be based in a town called Reigate, although I will sometimes be up in the office in London. However, next question is, are you working from home? And yes, I am initially. To be honest, I was really disappointed when I found out that I'd be working from home to start off with. I guess starting a graduate job straight out of uni is kind of daunting as it is, and so to be starting it from home remotely as well is going to be the extra challenge. We haven't been told how long we're going to be working from home for. I'm hoping it's only going to be the first few months and I can at least go into the office 1 or 2 days a week at some point next year, but honestly I have no clue. I absolutely understand why the company hasn't opened their offices yet, and it's the responsible thing to do in a pandemic. I am being sent all the IT equipment I need, so a company laptop, a monitor, a keyboard, a wired headset. So I'm going to have a proper home setup. And the next question is, are you moving for the job? And since I'm working from home to start off with, I'm not moving immediately. I get on well with my parents. They are more than happy for me to stay in the house and live with them for the time being. I just don't see the point in moving right now and then having to pay rent every month when I'm literally just working in my room the whole time. I don't even have to go into an office. I do want to move in the long run. My ideal situation is to find a house share in Reigate with other young people my age, other young professionals, and for it to be a very short distance from the office. Okay, next question is, what subjects will you be studying? So I have mentioned that I will be studying alongside my job, taking exams and trying to become a qualified actuary. So the way this works is there's a UK professional body called the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. It's actually a global body, to be fair, because it has members in other countries around the world as well. But as far as I'm aware, UK actuaries tend to be members of the IFOA, the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, and they set the curriculum for the actuarial qualifications, and the curriculum reflects the skills, knowledge and attributes that are required of actuaries. There are 3 components to the qualification: the exams, professionalism, and work experience in the workplace. There's actually 2 kind of qualifications you go for. The first one is called an associate and the second one is called a fellow. So you become an associate after you've settled the requirements for that, but then if you take more exams and do more requirements, you then become a fellow. And when you become a fellow, you're kind of viewed as a fully qualified actuary. The exams curriculum actually was reworked last year, I believe, but it comprises core modules which everyone takes: actuarial statistics, actuarial maths, business finance, and then when you're working towards becoming a fellow, you take specialist modules, which will depend on the line of actuarial work you are in. As someone who is going into insurance consulting, I will be taking specialist modules in pricing and reserving. So typically people study for these actuarial exams while in the job, and that's what I'm doing. I will be given study days. The study package at the company I'm joining is really good. They pay for all the exams we sit, and they also pay for study resources like textbooks. Another question I had was typically how long do all the exams take? It varies. Some people get exemptions from some of the exams since they've done degrees that already covered the content in the curriculum. For example, someone who studied actuarial sciences at university or even mathematics at university usually has some exemptions. However, a lot of people do go into the profession with no exemptions. I'm going to be going in with no exemptions because I did natural sciences at uni. I specialised in physics, and with no exemptions, on average it takes 6 to 7 years to gain fellowship and become a qualified actuary, which is quite a long time, and it's just because there are a lot of exams. And the reason it varies is because you don't always pass all the exams first time. It's quite common for you to fail at least 1 or 2 exams in your road to qualifying. Also, people opt to take different numbers of exams at each sitting. There's 2 sittings every year. Some people might race through the exams and take lots of the exams really, really quickly. Others might take it more slowly and just do 1 exam in each sitting. But remember, you are working full-time alongside all these studies, so it's not like you're full-time studying for 6 to 7 years. Actually, the bulk of your job is going to be working on real-life projects, working with real-life clients and getting that hands-on learning experience. Next question: does passing actuarial exams from the IFOA allow you to get a job anywhere in the world? Yes. Honestly, a big draw of the actuarial profession for me is the international opportunities. I know a lot of British actuaries are currently working abroad. The company I'm actually joining is a global company and they have offices all the way around the world. Next question: what inspired you to choose this job/career path? So I first heard about actuaries through a longtime friend of my grandma's. My family knew that I liked maths when I was at school, and I've always been fairly good at maths. It's always been my strength. And so they were like, oh, actuaries do maths, maybe she should look into that. So they took me along to speak to my grandma's friend one time, and I had a bit of a chat with him about life as an actuary, what actuaries do, and the more I looked into it, the more it appealed to me. Lots of people describe it as challenging work, and I like the sound of that. I want to be stimulated at work. I want an intellectual challenge. And also it involves dealing with a really wide range of people, with clients, with colleagues. And I do love interacting with other people. And it just sounded like it wouldn't be an isolating job, because that is the one thing I would hate in a job, to be isolated. And I also like the fact that actuaries are quite important to society. The work of actuaries affects all of us, you know, in pensions, in insurance. As cheesy as it might sound, I do want to make an impact and help society. And I know it is not the same as doing scientific research and making these amazing breakthroughs, but the work of actuaries is still very important and shouldn't be scoffed at. Next question is, how did you land this job? Is it easier to get a job with better pay as a Cambridge graduate? So last summer, some of you might remember I did an 8-week internship at a big company, the company I'm now joining, because at the end of the 8-week internship, they offered me a graduate role for this September. So the team I am now joining was the team I did 8 weeks in last year. So it's almost like I had a trial run. Some would say it was an 8-week interview process because they were literally watching the interns for the whole 8 weeks and deciding whether or not they wanted to offer us a job at the end of it. But I feel confident that I'm going to enjoy my time at the company because I've tried it out before. As for whether it's easier to get a job with better pay as a Cambridge graduate, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously having Cambridge on a CV is never going to hurt, but I think a lot of people think that if you've been to Cambridge or Oxford, the world is your oyster. You can get a job anywhere. I've heard stories of people who have literally graduated from Cambridge and then been unemployed for a few years and they can't find anything, you know? It's best not to get complacent. Obviously, if you've been to Cambridge, you clearly have quite a good work ethic and I'm sure you're very employable, but a Cambridge degree by itself, it's not a golden ticket to a top job, you know? You have to work hard, you have to get on that grind, go to interviews, apply for lots of things, especially in these times. Like, the job market is not looking too great for graduates at the moment. Next question, was it hard to get a job as an actuary? To become an actuary, typically you need a 2-1 at university, which I mean, I suppose is hard work. You have to work hard to get that 2-1. It was also quite a lengthy application process last year when I was applying for the internship, which eventually landed me the job. I had to do lots of online assessments, a video interview. Then typically you get invited to an assessment centre. Fun fact, actually was not able to go to the assessment centre for the internship last year. And I was gutted because I really wanted this internship, but I had a compulsory lab at university. It was a group thing, so I felt like I couldn't let the rest of my group down and skip it, but also they only had this one assessment day and that assessment day couldn't be moved. If I missed the assessment centre, you know, I was forfeiting my application. So I actually emailed the company and said, I can't make it and I'm really disappointed. I said, is there any possibility that you could interview me on another day? Didn't hear anything for a few days. And then I got another email back, or maybe they rang me. I think they rang me because I spoke about it on vlog. And they said that I could come in for an interview on a different day and that it would be a real shame if they never got to see me in person and interview me. And then I got offered the internship. And, you know, if I hadn't persisted and said I was disappointed and that I really did want to be seen and be interviewed, they might not have come to that conclusion. They might not have arranged a separate interview for me and that would have been the end of the application. So it's always worth being pushy and making yourself known. I think I was very lucky in getting the internship last year. From what I heard, there were a lot of applications. It was insanely competitive. The conclusion is it is hard work to get a job as an actuary and the application process can be long, but it's worth it and it is very possible. It is very doable to get a job as an actuary. Next question is, what skill sets do you need? Okay, this is in my opinion. I think you need strong mathematical, statistical skills, good communication skills, analytical skills, and team working skills. Next question is your job related to the undergraduate course you pursued at Cambridge? And I know a lot of people have been commenting on the fact that it has nothing to do with astrophysics. Why would I do a degree in astrophysics when I'm becoming an actuary now? And let me explain. Obviously, the job does not have a direct link to what I studied at Cambridge, but these days, A degree is a degree. All you need to go into the actuarial profession is a numeric degree, be it maths, physics, economics, you name it, you can become an actuary with that. I think that university is as much about enjoying yourself and learning something exciting as it is about finding something that allows you to progress to your dream career. And I loved my time at Cambridge. I loved what I studied. It was so interesting. I would never regret studying that. And you know, if you can find a way to study something you really enjoy and still progress to a good career, then why not do that? The next question is, what made you want to return to the company after your internship? I think the main thing was the atmosphere at the company. It was so friendly and supportive there. Also a nice and relaxed atmosphere. It didn't feel competitive in any way. Everyone was happy to help each other out. And I think a very important part of a job is the people you work with. And honestly, the people were just so lovely in this office. Next question. Will it not get boring quite quickly since it's mostly an office kind of job? There are lots of different types of jobs that are office job. Like, there's so many different varieties of office job. I don't think you can really make blanket statements about office jobs. Some office jobs are clearly boring and giving it a bad rep, but I don't think it's going to get boring because the work is complex, it's challenging. I'm going to be interacting with lots of people every day. Next question is the juicy one. It is, what's your starting salary? It is £31,250 per year. I don't particularly like talking about money, but as far as starting salaries go, this is pleasing to me. You do get regular salary reviews. Your salary is increased every time you pass exams, so there's quite a good incentive there to be passing the exams quickly. Next question is, what are the working hours like? My contracted hours are 7 hours per day, Monday to Friday. However, I might end up working for slightly longer than those hours, but the hours aren't crazy. I think it's probably 8:30 till 6, maybe, is what people typically do. They have the mindset that it's more about getting the work done than the hours you do. So they just work as long as they have to get the work done. They have some busy periods, they have some less busy periods. There was one day on my internship last year where everyone cleared off to the pub at lunchtime and didn't come back. And they could do that because they'd all worked extra hours earlier in the week and stayed late. So it seems quite flexible and not unreasonable. From what I've heard, there is a good work-life balance in the actuarial profession, at least after you've passed your exams. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more question, and we're going to go for, what made you decide to be in consulting? Because I mean, the alternative to consulting would be working in an insurance company itself. So the company I'm at has insurance companies as clients and they advise the insurance companies, whereas actually insurance companies themselves can employ their own actuaries within their company. From what I've heard, it's quite good to start your actuarial career in consulting because you get a much broader and wider view of the whole industry. But honestly, I applied to consultancies to start off with because I knew there were a lot of actuaries working there and they had well-established graduate schemes. Cool. I think I've talked quite enough for today. Hopefully that has shed some light on what I'm going to be getting up to in my new job, which begins very shortly. Not gonna lie, I think it's gonna be quite a shock to be going from this summer where I've not done much at all, I've just been taking my time off, to a full-time job. Wish me luck. Thank you very much for watching this video. Give it a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, follow my Instagram. I will definitely do more Q&As in the future and I'll ask for questions over there. So follow on Instagram if you want to get involved with that. And yeah, I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.